Disclaimer. All information is directly pulled from the most current listings of United States codes at the time of uploading. No person should take the information or interpretations presented here as legal advice, or advice of any kind. All legal research or request for legal interpretations should be done individually, as all information presented can be changed at any moment. United States Code Title II, the Congress. Chapter 1, Election of Senators and Representatives. Section 8, Vacancies. Line A. The text reads, except as provided in subsection B, the time for holding elections in any state, district, or territory for a representative or delegate to fill a vacancy, whether such vacancy is caused by a failure to elect at the time prescribed by law, or by the death, resignation, or incapacity of a person elected, may be prescribed by the laws of the several states and territories respectively. This means the manner of election of a representative to fill a vacancy, for whatever reason, will be decided by the state, unless otherwise stated by line B of this section. Line B, Part 1. The text reads, in general, in extraordinary circumstances, the executive authority of any state in which a vacancy exists in its representation in the House of Representatives shall issue a writ of election to fill such vacancy by special election. This means, when a special election must be held, the authority of the state in need will write a document stating the nature of the election. Line B, Part 2. The text reads, timing of special election. A special election held under this subsection to fill a vacancy shall take place not later than 49 days after the Speaker of the House of Representatives announces that the vacancy exists, unless, during the 75-day period which begins on the date of the announcement of the vacancy, a regularly scheduled general election for the office involved is to be held, or b. another special election for the office involved is to be held, pursuant to a writ for a special election issued by the chief executive of the state prior to the date of the announcement of the vacancy. This means, the special election must take place within 49 days of the Speaker of the House announcing a vacancy, unless during the 75 days after the announcement. A regular election is going to take place anyway. A special election is already in motion before the announcement is made. Line B, Part 3. The text reads, nominations by parties. If a special election is to be held under this subsection, the determination of the candidates who will run in such election shall be made. A. By nominations made not later than 10 days after the Speaker announces that the vacancy exists by the political parties of the state that are authorized by state law to nominate candidates for the election, or b. By any other method the state considers appropriate, including holding primary elections, that will ensure that the state will hold the special election within the deadline required under paragraph 2. This means, candidates for a special election will be selected in one of two ways. Nominations by the executive authority of the state that holds the power to nominate, within 10 days of the announcement of vacancy. In any other method the state decides as long as the special election is accomplished within the 49-day window. Line B, Part 4. Subsection A. The text reads, extraordinary circumstances. In general, in this subsection, extraordinary circumstances occur when the Speaker of the House of Representatives announces that vacancies in the representation from the states in the House exceed 100. This means, as stated earlier, an extraordinary circumstance that initiates a special election is 100 or more vacancies of the House. Line B, Part 4. Subsection B. The text reads: Judicial review. If any action is brought for declaratory or injunctive relief to challenge an announcement made under subparagraph A, the following rules shall apply. This means: if an announcement from line B, Part 4, subsection A is challenged, it will follow these rules. Line B, Part 4. Subsection B, subline I. The text reads: not later than 2 days after the announcement, the action shall be filed in the United States District Court having jurisdiction in the district of the member of the House of Representatives whose seat has been announced to be vacant and shall be heard by a 3-judge court convened pursuant to Section 2284 of Title 28. This means: within 2 days, the challenge will be filed with the district court from the vacant state/district that was announced. The challenge will be heard by a 3-judge panel as stated in Title 28, Part 6, Chapter 155, Section 2284. Line B, Part 4. Subsection B, subline II. The text reads: a copy of the complaint shall be delivered promptly to the Clerk of the House of Representatives. This means: the Clerk of the House will get a copy immediately. Line B, Part 4. Subsection B, subline III. The text reads: a final decision in the action shall be made within 3 days of the filing of such action and shall not be reviewable. This means: the final decision will be made within 3 days of filing in the district court. Decision is final. Line B, Part 4. Subsection B, subline IV. The text reads: the executive authority of the state that contains the district of the member of the House of Representatives whose seat has been announced to be vacant shall have the right to intervene either in support of or opposition to the position of a party to the case regarding the announcement of such vacancy. This means: the person or people with authority in the state with the vacant district can intervene in the announcement, either in support or in opposition. Line B, Part 5. Subsection A. The text reads: protecting ability of absent military and overseas voters to participate in special elections. Deadline for transmittal of absentee ballots. In conducting a special election held under this subsection to fill a vacancy in its representation, the state shall ensure to the greatest extent practicable, including through the use of electronic means, that absentee ballots for the election are transmitted to absent uniformed services voters and overseas voters, as such terms are defined in the Uniformed and Overseas Citizens Absentee Voting Act, 52 USC 20301 Seek, not later than 15 days after the Speaker of the House of Representatives announces that the vacancy exists. This means: within 15 days of the vacancy announcement, the state must send out by any means possible while still being secure, absentee ballots for military members and other citizens that are overseas. This is stated in Title 52, Subtitle 2, Chapter 203, Sections 20301 and 20301A. Line B, Part 5. Subsection B. The text reads: period for ballot transit time. Notwithstanding the deadlines referred to in paragraphs 2 and 3, in the case of an individual who is an absent uniformed services voter or an overseas voter, as such terms are defined in the Uniformed and Overseas Citizens Absentee Voting Act, a state shall accept and process any otherwise valid ballot or other election material from the voter so long as the ballot or other material is received by the appropriate state election official not later than 45 days after the state transmits the ballot or other material to the voter. This means, aside from the other deadlines stated in Line B, Part 2 and Part 3, absent military and overseas voter votes will be counted if they are submitted within 45 days after the state sends them out. Line B, Part 6. The text reads: Application to District of Columbia and Territories. This subsection shall apply: A. To a delegate or resident commissioner to the Congress in the same manner as it applies to a member of the House of Representatives, and B. To the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, American Samoa, Guam, and the United States Virgin Islands in the same manner as it applies to a state, except that a vacancy in the representation from any such jurisdiction in the House shall not be taken into account by the Speaker in determining whether vacancies in the representation from the states in the House exceed 100 for purposes of paragraph 4a. This means, all of these rules will also apply to delegates or resident commissioners to the Congress. The other areas owned by the United States, D.C., Puerto Rico, American Samoa, Guam, the U.S. Virgin Islands. The previously mentioned areas will not count towards the 100 vacant seat requirement for extraordinary circumstances, from Line B, Part 4, subsection A. Line B, Part 7. The text reads: Rule of construction regarding federal election laws. Nothing in this subsection may be construed to affect the application to special elections under this subsection of any federal law governing the administration of elections for federal office, including any law providing for the enforcement of any such law, including, but not limited to, the following. This means, nothing in this section will interfere with any other federal law regarding the election of any federal office, including this one and the following, not all inclusive. Line B, Part 7. Subsections A through G. The text reads: A. The Voting Rights Act of 1965, 42 USC 1973 etc. Now 52 USC 10301 etc., as amended. B. The Voting Accessibility for the Elderly and Handicapped Act, 42 USC 1973 etc. Now 52 USC 20101 etc., as amended. C. The Uniformed and Overseas Citizens Absentee Voting Act, 42 USC 1973 FF etc. Now 52 USC 20301 etc., as amended. D. The National Voter Registration Act of 1993, 42 USC 1973 GG etc. Now 52 USC 20501 etc., as amended. E. The Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, 42 USC 12101 etc., as amended. F. The Rehabilitation Act of 1973, 29 USC 701 etc., as amended. G. The Help America Vote Act of 2002, 42 USC 15301 etc. Now 52 USC 20901 etc., as amended. I am not a lawyer, a politician, a representative of the United States government, or an expert in any field related to any of the information being presented here. I am merely a concerned citizen hoping to bring the rules that dictate our country to light in an easier to understand fashion than is being presented to us currently. Thank you. Please go to the Office of the Law Revision Council for a complete list of up-to-date versions of United States codes. The link is in the description below. https://uscode.house.gov. Please like and subscribe for more releases and updates.